Age, pick up the pace, LOI, find no age. Indeed, I ain't bringing my effort in vain. The needle on my veins, I'm falling asleep. Keep it in the air, I sever your hair. When she touch your back, my brain will be fat. I touch the side, relate to the day. I watch my niggas because it was sad. Oh, I'm no friend. He's my important S. What I saw, many will fall, feeling my bones. No friend. He's my important S. What I saw, many will feel my bones. I say again. It's like more explore the songs for us. Explore different songs. Easy. Fall in love with music. Sounds like I'm all on Mars, she feeling your eyes and sit I despise myself again. She's never come, my body is numb. I feel like a god, emotional. Cut out my eyes, feed me with lies and I will never have to see again. I feed the hate, I feed the truth. I give the credit to you. Fuck the devil for your wealth. Pistol showing on myself. I control my own death. I don't need a fucking help. Fuck the devil for your wealth. Pistol showing on myself. I control my own death. I don't need a fucking help.
Thanks, Melgo.
Okay, so you vote. Very 2015. Y'all know what you fuck with. Okay, niggas wanna fight. I don't wanna fuck. As a pill popper, he don't ever mean nothing. I was dirty boy, I'm friend with the plug. For the white nigga, niggas serve him up. Pushing nigga free, I don't fuck a nigga up. And so yanky that a nigga act tough. Keep the blade on me, let a nigga act up. I don't do favors, got a nigga fucked up. Say it with the word, Instagram, MC. Dog steady walking at a nigga like 50. Should the cash shit for some lines and some receipt. Pulling out the real straight dice. never really shit bands. I done learned my dick, water, came for your fucking daughter. Let my niggas get a slaughter bands. I done learned my dick, water, came for your fucking daughter. Let my niggas get a slaughter bands. I done learned my dick, water, came for your fucking daughter. Let my niggas get a slaughter bands. I done learned my dick, water,
Hey, what's up, Ania? What's up, Goku? Thanks, Manga Gnome. So, for those just tuning in, right now what I like to do is I like to just let my hand take me wherever it wants to go on the page, and to just scribble whatever kind of forms come out, and from there I like to go over it in another layer and pick out shapes that look interesting to me. And so now I'm just gonna kind of zone out again and add a little more and a little more and a little more, layer by layer, and we're gonna end up with something pretty cool. Let's see. Hello, Kitty. How you doing?
Hey, shouts out Bears now. Hey. That little got a throat fit. I like to rock it on misfit. My emotions like a wrist slit. Pulling her like I'm more bent. Got like I'm more man. On your neck, head. Don't want your just one. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Yeah.
Instagram live ended because I'm playing some music that's copyrighted. That's stupid. I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. Thank you, Hello Kitty. Appreciate you. Yeah, see, you did it again. What the hell? Alright, let's just lock into something here. Okay. That's all right, hello. It's all about quality, not quantity, right?
Yeah.
Usually this part isn't, it's not about showing off, right? So you want to first find what you're interested in drawing genuinely, and if that looks like scribbles on the page, and you build on top of that and build in layers and create an image out of it, then that's what it is. A lot of people are not going to be attracted to that. That's not a big deal. What's important is you're drawing something genuinely that you find interesting. And if you don't know, if you keep at it, you will know. You'll eventually figure out what it is. And right now I'm starting to see, it looks like there's like a fight scene or something going on right here. Or like one is chasing the other or something. But this is one character over here, this is another character. But I don't want to decide what it is yet. I want to kind of be open. It could change. It's almost like clay. I'm shaping it as it's being spun. Right?
I'm on my mind, she feeling your eyes, and said I despise myself again. It's never come, my body's numb, I feel
Thank
like
you. Yeah, no, it's good.
cut out my eyes, feed me with lies that I will never have to see again.
It's a great way to loosen up, you know?
I feel the truth, I get the pain in the youth. Fucking devil for you rough. Pistol showing on myself. I control my own death. I don't need no fucking help. Fucking devil for you rough. Pistol showing on myself. I control my own death. I don't need no fucking help.
Thank you, Sir Brewski. Alright, now let's make a little more sense of it with a little bit more scribbles. So, we just did, what, 3 layers? This is our 3rd layer of scribbles. And now we have more to choose from. So, let's see here. And now I'm looking at the image, I'm looking at the shapes, I'm seeing some interesting shapes. And all I want to do is just kind of highlight those and focus it in. And follow wherever inspiration leads. It's easier to work from something than absolutely nothing. Right? So it's sort of like a snowball that gets bigger and bigger. And then something magical happens. Oh my god, the Instagram freaking keeps sending me. Hold up. Wow, I can't play X Tentacion because the Instagram keeps ending. So I have to hold up, guys. Let me fix the Instagram live. And then that really sucks. They automatically end it. They're so whack. I'll have to put something different. Let's see. Give me 1 second, y'all. Thank you, Cristazo. Right now it's really raw, but it's gonna start getting clear. So it's important. We need to for your drawings to come out the way you feel most excited about. You have to spend time exploring, and that means if it means scribbling and layers, then that's what it means. And you'll start to find you don't really need to do thumbnails like they teach you. You don't really need to figure it out and be very heady with your approach. You can actually just jump right in, and you'll start to see as you piece it together all these shapes. You know, one way I like to make people understand what I'm saying is, you know, I'm sure when you were as a kid, you'd look up at the ceiling and there's all these like dots on the ceiling, right? If the paint wasn't clear, and you would see all these interesting shapes, and your mind will start to make faces out of those shapes or things out of those shapes. Or when you look up at the clouds and you see like images, it's the same concept, except you're looking through your sketches, your scribbles. And when you start to do that, you start to look for the shapes that interest you, and you consume whatever you like anime, manga, comics, whatever you like, video games, and you consume art like that, you'll start to see that within the scribbles as well. And it'll all just add to your arsenal, your visual arsenal, that you could start to tap into unconscious and consciously. So, you know, we want to create something fresh, something new. That means you got to explore. That means basically not drawing fan art, right? I could draw Naruto, I could look up a reference and do that, for example, but that's not as exciting to me as finding something new, a new design, a new character, a new story. I love your shape language. Holy shit, thank you, Chris. Yeah, shape language is key. It's not manga, this is scribbling. That's right. Right now it's scribbles, but it evolves into whatever it wants to be. So when you start to, because a lot of people, like I said, they're not able to understand, like, an image is drawing your line work. It's a lot like clay, like a paintbrush. It's a shape that you can morph, and the story of that piece changes as you go. So you got to keep exploring. It may take some time. You know, this is the part they probably don't really show you. They show you the last end result, which if you want to see some of my work, you're welcome to check out my page. You just kind of got to stick with it. You got to let it kind of communicate with the paper. Communicate with the line. Let it just sort of take over, doze off, and see what comes out. This is just scribbles. But scribbles, I see a face here. I see this sort of draconic, vampiric kind of figure up here. He's looking down at this figure, and this is his face, right? And almost like as if he's swooping in there. You know, and I'm using the scribbles, the ghost scribbles I have over here that layer underneath, to kind of add to the layer above it, and to see if I could have a jumping off point from there, maybe make a different mark. Thank you, Cristazo. Yeah. Sharp, I love your shape language. Thank you. Yeah, it's important to. A lot of people do art to show off. This is something that plagues a lot of entry artists. When they come in here, they're trying to show off. They're trying to do, I gotta draw, you know, Sasuke or whatever the hell. Who's the new guy they like now? The JJK guy. I gotta draw this character, right? Sukuna. I gotta draw fucking, I don't know, if you're into Bleach or whatever. I gotta draw Ichigo. So many, right? So you wanna allow yourself to get away from that way of thinking of I want to draw something that exists already, and be open to what the page wants to show you. So treat it like that. Treat it like a relationship, like almost like there's a ocean of what it could be. It could be so many things, and as you kind of add to it and you give your time to it and you show up, magical things will happen, I promise you. So right now we went from scribbles. If you guys want to rewind, you'll see it was just like confusion of the highest order, bro. It was just pure scribbles, and then we're starting to get to a little more formed scribbles. We have now almost looking like two characters. It looks like some kind of battles happening. So let's see here. You know, I'm finding it out as just as you guys are. So that's the beauty of this. Go ahead. Let's go ahead, erase. This light thing is freaking falling. And yeah, you see it. Just like when you look at the clouds, you start to see things within the cloud. You start to see Abraham Lincoln, or you see, I don't know, Jesus, or you see the cows and sheeps or something. All that stuff, it exists in the scribbles too. You know, it's your mind getting curious, wondering, well, what could be this? What could be this? Oh, okay. You start to develop that curiosity for your own shape language, which just means the shapes you're attracted to, design-wise, and you'll start to develop a style without you even intending on doing that. You just naturally embody what it is you prefer, because that's the whole exercise in itself. It's you letting that unconscious mind search for forms, for design in the scribbles. And it takes a lot of the heavy lifting off of you. It's almost like as if he has like a automail hand or something. Automail is like a mechanical hand. So let me see here. Thank you, Zero. And the beauty of doing it this way, when you know you're just trying to draw whatever, is you surprise yourself. It's not all predictable. I had no clue I was gonna draw this automail vampire looking motherfucker right here. I had no clue that this is what I was gonna lead to. And I just kept adding scribble and scribble, and I got haters in the chat and some of the chat over here, and people who are very kind, of course. Thank you, of course. But I had to deal with all that and push through, and then all of a sudden we're starting to see an image. We're starting to see this interesting looking, it looks like he has a mask on. Character come out, and it's not like anything that exists, because it was here. You could say we ended up here on accident, but in a way it isn't an accident, right? See how I'm using the shapes that I had before in the underdrawing, the scribbles I did. I tried to find ways to incorporate it, and if not, I'll use it as a launching pad to go somewhere else, right? And now I'm thinking about, okay, well, if this is what his chest is going to be, where's his ribs? Does he have ribs? How does that look like? And I'll start to add little by little, really quick split decisions, that all these little decisions add up to make for an interesting, original piece. Thanks, Radio. Appreciate you. So if you guys are interested in drawing too, I want you guys to try this out, this exercise. I call it shape hunting, and it's just about finding the shapes in the scribbles and layering those scribbles on and trying to pull out interesting shapes to you personally, things that appeal to you. We're in a drought, believe it or not. We don't have a lot of new stuff. A lot of the stuff we're consuming when it comes to the media, it's derivative works, it's works that really are just there to be entertaining, because they know, hey, this works, let's keep giving them this slop. The only way we're gonna break out of that is if you guys are willing to find your voice in this shape language, in these different varying styles, right? And you gotta learn really to loosen up, have fun, and really just don't give a shit. You really gotta learn to not give a shit. That's the secret to a lot of this stuff. When you care too much, you try too hard. When you try too hard, it doesn't feel natural. It feels stiff. That goes for anything. The less you try, the more you surrender, and the more you follow the flow, the more interesting things start to happen. There's people who master being extremely heady with their approach, and they demand it as a standard. But truthfully speaking, there is no standard when it comes to art. Right? Art is the escape of standard. It's the search for new. It's finding what's new and exciting, what's reinventive and innovative, right? So don't be ashamed if you guys don't feel you're at a certain level. Don't be bullied, because there's a lot of bullies out there. You gotta see that everybody's really scared to make a mistake, and that's why there really is no logic behind not trying, not doing something, just, you know? And here's one way to kind of loosen up. Stop caring about all the dilemmas and just let your mind find something interesting to create. It's almost like this entity is coming out of this character's back, like as if it's like his stand or something. You know, you guys know JoJo, like as if it's some kind of ghoul on his shoulder or something. I need to hear this. I've been pushing myself hard, studying anatomy and perspective. I appreciate you, Manga. No, yeah, it's important. I understand exactly where you're coming from. A lot of the times we're so heady with our stuff. With art, you can get away with a lot, and you'll be surprised. A lot of the people in your school, if you're in art school, that are teaching you, your professors, if you go and look at their portfolios, you're gonna be like, why am I trying to be like this guy, you know, or this girl? Like, that doesn't even fit what I'm trying to do, what I'm interested in. A lot of the times what we have is a system that wants to turn you into a obedient cog in a machine. And that's what the studio setup is, right? You're just there to do your part in this big machine. You know, don't tell us anything about what you want to do, because you don't got the money to do it, so forget about that, right? It's about who you know in these studios and all that. But there is a way around all of it, because people really do gravitate to what's real, and they really get the hell away from what's fake, even though it might appear otherwise. In the long run, people, you know, their spirit will catch up to them. They'll say, hey, this just feels empty. Why is it, what's missing here? And they'll start to crave something different. And different means it's not in a textbook. So study anatomy. I recommend Michael Hampton's book for shortcuts on a lot of anatomy. but don't get so crazy with your study that you think there's a right and a wrong way, there's an incorrect way, that this is that and this is that, not that. This is doctrination that you can be free of, as long as you believe that, hey, you have a capacity for this and that you would like to explore what you can find on the page. A lot of people, they don't want you to go searching for your own original images, your own original style, your original way. They will, especially your friends, unfortunately, they'll tell you that get in line, you need to know your place, you know you're born this loser or that loser and that's it forever and ever and you're screwed. This is the mentality of the system. Break out of it. How you break out of it is you reject this heady concept of art, this extremely, everything must be methodical, everything must be correct. There's one person who was hating on me. He was like saying there's a professional standard, there's an unprofessional standard. You'd be surprised at what's in a bookstore that looks like garbage, that according to the professional standard, but it's selling so much, right? It's not about really if it's correct or not, it's about if it resonates or not, right? And if you're creating art that doesn't resonate, are you creating art? What is that? You gotta feel it. It's important. Well, what up, Sonny? I do have some color pieces. You know what? Since I'm talking so dang much, I'm gonna show you some of the color pieces I have. I gave away a couple of them, but this one right here is the first volume cover for Demonation. This isn't the final. I like to do things traditional, and then I like to fix it up in the computer, give it a digital polish. But when I first was starting out figuring out my process, I did completely traditional. There's things have changed since then, but I like this one so much because it was like this had captured the spirit of the comic book I'm working on. So let me put this back. Thank you, Cristazo. I'm self-taught using Hampton, Loomis, Bridgman. Yes, yeah, I hear you. Yes, I hear you, Manga Gnome, bro. That is dope that you're self-taught. Honestly, most of us, even if you go to art school, you're gonna end up teaching yourself, because depending what school you go to, I went to community college pretty much, and then I went to transfer, but I learned more in the community college, I would say, than the transfer university. And I ended up realizing, like, they're trying to shape me to be a studio, maker artist, not a original creator artist, not a comic book artist even. They told me that's a pipe dream, which they're not wrong about. The landscape in America, especially, comics is no more, it's become a propaganda tool for different agendas, right? And they pretty much don't allow new stuff to come out because they have Spider-Man and Batman, and that's all you need for the rest of your life and the rest of your kids' lives and so forth and generations. They're about 100 years old, these characters. There's nothing wrong with them. We all love them, but there's a businessman sitting in the decision-making seat who's saying, I don't want to take a risk. I'm going to rely on what's here, and I'm going to put in propaganda using these characters. So America is kind of screwed when it comes to comics. That's why we need to fix it. And the only way we're going to fix it is if we admit to ourselves that it's not supposed to be this way, and that somebody hijacked it, and to look at the East and look at how they're doing things, but also not fall for their traps, because they also have problems too, right? But they got something right. They got apprenticeship systems. They got so much things right. They make comics into anime, right? We used to do that once a long time ago. But we stopped. It's gonna come back. You just gotta keep pushing through and make an impact where it counts, where you cannot be ignored, right? So doing your comic, no matter how it looks like, especially like I said, these editors, a lot of them don't even know how to draw. They just say, "Oh yeah, I recognize good versus bad," right? They don't really know, bro. They don't really know. It's more so about, can you make someone feel something when they're reading your work? Can you make them feel excited for your work? That's what's the most important aspect. Not about whether it's correct or not. That's a big lie. That's a big lie. Unless you're trying to do, medical books where they need to make sure, hey, that's not where the heart goes. You need to make sure the heart is in this location, or we're gonna screw up the next generation of doctors thinking the heart is in the stomach or something. If it matters like that, that's a different story. But if you guys are trying to do entertainment art, then don't feel like there's a correct and incorrect way. There's good and better for you, and you just got to be open to that. Your education stops when you decide you're the best in the world, which is crazy. So you should always be learning, but at the same time, you shouldn't always be a student. You need to create. You need to step out of that. Some things are not in the textbook at all. Explore, and a lot of times creating your own projects is a great way to kind of explore what you have in mind. Okay, so I gotta stop yapping, bro, because this pencil stopped moving. Okay, so let's see here. I want to check the comments, but I know I'm gonna start yapping again if I keep going. So let me at least try to get something going on with this character down here, and we'll see what y'all be saying, good or bad. Okay, we're just gonna quickly kind of run over everything top with another layer. When I'm not sure, I'm just gonna put in something down, and I know that I could go in with another layer and start to build on top of that, and clarity starts to slowly come. Remember, it's like a snowball. It starts to get bigger and bigger. Okay. Let me see the comments real quick. Later, Sonny. Thank you. I'm good, Silver. How are you? Thank you, Reniro. Based on what you say, you are self-taught, or are you a student in fine arts? I am mostly self-taught. I would say for university, the only thing you will benefit from is figure drawing classes. But you can get that outside of the university. So that's all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Be really honest with y'all. Figure drawing is what gave me good structure, and that's about the only thing that really I was able to absorb, other than rejecting this doctrination they try to give me. That part was not them teaching me, it was me trying to unlearn what they taught me. But figure drawing is, for sure, they helped me so much with that. So that's what I would say that it's for. But other than that, man, they didn't teach me how to do manga, comics, the stuff I like to do, and there was no classes for it, to be honest. Like, unfortunately, I didn't go to like a fancy comic art school or something. But if I did, I probably would have had connects, and I'd probably be selling books right now. But it's all good. God has a plan for everybody. Okay, let me see what else. When you say student artist, you already have a rank. You're determining where people's are. That's your opinion. So Rhaenyra, I would recommend for you, dude, is to expand your mind beyond a hierarchy, beyond a pyramid, right? We're not here to create pyramids and hierarchy. You need to be willing to see different perspectives and allow them to be in their own glory. You cannot put this is. Yeah. You have your personal preferences. I have mine. Everybody has their own. So break out of the mold, man. Break out of the pyramid scheme. Let's see here. I recommend for people that think like this, you gotta go look at the mangakas in the 90s, bro. Some of those mangakas, you'd be like, how did you get this job, bro? How did you end up? For example, Yu Yu Hakusho. Go read chapter 1 of Yu Yu Hakusho. Does it matter that if you read that and you don't feel something out of reading that chapter, then I don't know what to tell you, but it hit wild, and it made so much numbers. It's huge. It affected culture even, right? But if you go read Yu Yu Hakusho chapter 1, you're gonna realize, like, does it really matter to think, oh, this one is better, this one's correct, and this, etc. Right? It's more about, can it make a resonance? Can you feel what the creator's telling you? And that storytelling, he got it on point, right? So social media is only about being, for social media, you are manga gnome. Think of yourself as a lighthouse or a fountain. That's all you are on social media as an artist. You're not here, we're not here to show off. That's the most important thing, because people fall into that trap and become just fan artists, people pleasers, trash, right? It's really about being just a fountain for people, a light, and people will. There's artists out there who, they see your work, they're gonna want to do their own work. They're gonna say, wow, I can do that too, right? And for me, when I can start off from scribbles and turn it into an image, right? That's one of the things I like to do. But when I do that, a lot of people see, like, oh wait, I could just scribble and layer it on top and I can make something out of it. Wow. So it's about kind of helping motivate and inspire just by being available, but just by being present, showing your work and showing how your work is done, sharing your process, sharing your philosophy, sharing you. The rest of it doesn't matter. Forget about, I need to be the number one popular, forget about that bullshit. None of that shit matters. What matters is you drawing, you creating, and you sharing your work. Good Lord, my table's falling apart. Okay. All right, I gotta get back to the actual drawing here. Let's see here. You post your art online at your leisure, but I say you should post. I'm guilty of like wanting to take a huge hiatus, and I've done it in the past, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know, recharging. I think that I had to change my perspective for me to come back, and it was this perspective to realize, like, hey, you're not really doing this just for you. Like, there's actual people out there who want to see you and doing your thing, and they get a lot of inspiration for it, and that's good enough, you know. And if you can be there for those people and like help them, then dude, that's very fulfilling. It's a lot more fulfilling than, you know, smoking blunts all day and, you know, playing video games or whatever, right? So create and find. And like I said, I had no idea what I was gonna draw, and this is looking pretty interesting to me. So I'm gonna keep adding to it. I might change it a little more here and there. Eventually, it's gonna get very clear. I like. It's almost like, it kind of reminds me of Mega Man Zero, but I don't wanna make that imprint of Mega Man Zero onto him too much. So I'm gonna try to avoid that a little bit. Not Mega Man Zero, Zero, that's his name. It's been a while, bro. Ashcom's got to go. Something out of that. Good luck. A bad artist copies, a good artist steals, but a better artist creates. That's how that quote's got to end. Thapello, what up, Thapello? How you doing, brother? Yeah, if you check out Silver Comment, if you check out chapter 1 of Yu Yu Hakusho, you'll understand like that. Raniero was saying about student artists and this. Like, there's a whole pyramid scheme of deciding who's good, who's worthy, who's not. All that is crap. You gotta just see that Yu Yu Hakusho chapter 1. Hey man, I'm not saying it was bad art. I'm just saying to you that according to the professional standards, quote unquote, it wouldn't pass. But that story carried, and the art was. After you get into the story, it becomes actually a compliment. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, enough chatter. We gotta get back into this. Okay, cool. What up, Sergio? I will say that what you'll have is a lot of the artists that end up getting a gig. And we're not talking about the super famous ones. We're talking about people who end up becoming like, you know, working artists. Like they're working in a studio, or maybe they got a book published and it's somewhere, you know, out in the world. It's not super popular, but it exists. A lot of them, they've been pimped out a little bit, and I'm gonna explain a little bit about that. They get this mindset, like they'll tell you things like being original is not important. That don't try to be original. Editors are only looking for what's popular. Like this kind of cock-a-doodle mindset is like, bro, this is how you make the most empty art in the world. This is probably why these creators their work didn't end up going anywhere, really, right? But there is this thing you'll start to see where people who have some success, some minor success, they'll start to push this ideology of being unoriginal is actually important, and that you need to stop trying to be original, that you need to just do things correctly, like this whole bullshit. It's something that they drill into you in art school to keep you in line. You got to see it, bro, for what it really is. The whole education system, all of this stuff, it's there so you don't be yourself, so you don't create. It's there so you can follow orders. That's what it's there for. You use it as a tool, but don't become indoctrinated. Do not become indoctrinated. Your teacher probably doesn't even draw that good. Like, that's the reality, dog. I hate to. So there's some really good teachers, don't get me wrong. But looking at, like, from my past, looking at the quote-unquote art teachers I had, I realized, like, they were just art students, like, that graduated and they had to get a job. Like, that's what ends up happening. So we got to kind of be real. You know, being original and being genuine with your work is very important. In fact, it's the most important thing. Don't just be good, be fucking original. You know, be curious, explore. And, you know, that's... What the fuck is this music playing? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Spotify took me to a different place. Later, Manga Gnome. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jabber. Oh no, this is absolute garbage. Give me a second, guys. I gotta change this shit, and it's so slow. Come on, please. What the hell? And I got freaking Instagram to shut down because of this trash. No. Shut up. Okay. Man, I gotta clear out my library. Okay, we're gonna just put some nice calming music, hopefully. Thank you, Edgar. Okay, Instagram's okay, awesome. Thank you so much for answering. I'm glad I answered your question, brother. The premise of the quote was about reconceptualizing existing entities, but I get you, gang. Yeah. No, I know, Rhaenyra. I could tell you're sincere. That's why I'm not picking on you or nothing. I'm just saying, like, it's very important that we go a step further than just the indoctrination that we get in art school, in the professional world. Todd McFarlane, for example, his Spider-Man. I don't know if you ever look at his Spider-Man, the way he did the webs. They were so revolutionary It was too different, and it was freaking dope. Don't get me wrong. But the editors were giving him a hard time. They're saying, "Stop doing those freaking webs, man. Do it the way we told you how to do it, okay?" And guess what he did? He said, "Fuck you guys," and he kept doing the webs the way he did. And guess what happened? Guess what happened to that series? It just did great, and everybody loved the webs. What the hell? Who would have thunk? So, a lot of the times, these people who are sitting in the position of power to tell you what to think, to tell the powerless artists in this generation what to think, especially, and how to be, they're not your friend. They're actually the old guard. You need to overcome them. You need to embrace your own philosophy, expand beyond what they're trying to teach you, radically reject them, and embody your own original stuff and searching for that. Don't be going to art thinking I have to do things the correct way. Like, that's not the right way. Yeah, do anatomy. You need anatomy. You need these things. But don't let it dictate what your art piece is. Don't let it dictate everything. Okay, now we gotta do some shit. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, I wish I could play some X. I was playing some X and Tentacion, then Instagram shut. A lot of the times these things end up becoming inspiration for like character sheets or characters within my own comic book or whatever, right? So it's a great way to, like I said, it's called shape hunting. It's a really useful exercise to kind of find your own voice and to explore what could be. Thank you, Rhaenyra. Thank you, Drake. What's up, man? How you doing?
Why you niggas be sleeping on Atlanta?
So, this is the crown jewel of this exercise. We started off with pure scribbles. Rewind back, you'll see. We made more scribbles, erased, more scribbles, erased. And now we can start to see shapes I've chosen that look really interesting and start to form something. Okay, for sure they're gonna ban me. Give me something that doesn't copyright issue, please, Spotify. I gotta stop it. Whatever. Let's keep it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a little more cleaner lines, commit to the image.
I don't work, I like to sit in bed and play games. I don't go to school.
Drake Campbell, remember me last time, a long time ago? Dude, I'm sorry, no.
I don't really care, I'm already giving up.
Rhaenyra, I've been told to buy digital pens, but it's too late because you're a mouse artist. That's crazy. You do mouse art? That's wow. Hey, if you can do cool art pieces with the mouse, that works, man. Whatever works. you know, play with it. I've done painting and stuff like that, but what I found, I like ink, pen, and marker. That's where I'm at. But sometimes I'll dabble in painting. Not really though. It's just too much cleanup. So everybody to each their own. Okay. So this is the last part where I like to kind of commit to the shapes that we've been playing with and make sense out of it. It might not always make 100% sense, you know, but that's all right, because art is part nonsense and sense, right? It's part insanity and clarity. Yeah, I kind of see Bloodborne. I do, yeah. The hat. The Bloodborne character's hat. I could kind of see that. I also see Mega Man Zero a little bit. But this is me desperately trying to make associations. You know, like, okay, well, what is it? What could it be? Oh my god. But it's a surprise. And let's see here. We'll go to this part later. Let's just kind of focus on this character in the bottom. You know, I don't know if you guys ever played the Mega Man Colonel game. He kind of has a little bit of that too in him. So he's got like Bloodborne, Mega Man Zero, Colonel. Hold on a sec. TikTok needs me to do a CAPTCHA. This might get Instagram to end live, so let me change that. You've reached your daily limit. What the hell are you talking about, daily limit?
No face, no case, but 12 in the judge.
I'm alright, Sapilla. How are you doing? Oh, you're talking about... I remember a character, yeah, he was sitting in a chair. Yeah, that was a while ago. It was like last year. The world doesn't make any sense. Why I have to? Exactly, bro. Exactly. A little bit of it, it's like salt. You know, you don't want too much salt, but you kind of need it.
get me off my zone. Better watch your girl, better keep her clean.
It's 2 in the morning. Damn. Well, have a good night, man.
Inside this paper plane note, my words are Navy SEAL, so here and I quote. Cabo and I
This bitch sipping on some motherfucking lean on me. Leave out jeans to match my DC's and bands. Looking at that motherfucking man. Fuck a rugged nigga with that gun up in his fucking hand.
Damn, look at all this cursing. Oh my god.
One time, what's the word? What's the word? What's the word?
What's good, bro? How you doing? I'm aiming for Shonen Jump, bro. So I gotta create a one shot and send it to them, and I gotta enter their contest. But this is just a shape hunting exercise. This isn't related to the manga, but it could be. It could be inspiration for a character in the story or something later on. Who knows? Yeah, when it gets published, you can. Otherwise, everything's free online. So I'll share the story as it comes out. You know, wherever you guys follow me, I'll just put it up there. It's easy, convenient.
the way they get one of the biggest adventure. Must be dementia that you ever thought you could touch our credentials. What's the initials? You beat and rock the lyrical official. Send up the order, laws and the rituals. Burn candles, say prayers, paint heroes. It is true, we big news, we hood heroes. So as the anchor, we come to conquer. On a bad man, we not play really wonka. And I got the guns, I got the ganja.
He looks possessed. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah, there's like this creature coming out of him or about to take over. I can see that. Because I don't know what it is, to be honest. I just see two characters and all this weird shit going on. I don't know exactly, but it's processing. You know? Next, David. All right.
Word is out, hysteria you heard about. Now it's in junior gun, gonna turn it out. Body with verses till I scream murder out. The kings is back, time to return the crown. Who want it? Tuck your chain with dew coming. Renegades that appeal to back like new hunters. Bet your Jews on it, you don't wanna lose on it. Either move.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh well, I'm just gonna leave it with a light like that. It's gonna keep falling. Demo. How many chapters does your manga have? What's it called? Yeah. So my story is ongoing. I think I've written up to page 17, but I'm still on the one shot. I'm still at chapter 0 because I've done prototypes when I was younger, but I want to make it better. But I've written out 17 plus, I think last time I checked it was 17. But the whole story is gonna... Hold on guys, this motherfucker is loud. But it's gonna be as long as it needs to be. It's a pretty long story. It's in the hundreds for sure. There's 3 parts to it, and each part probably has 200 to 400 chapters. I've plotted the whole thing out, but in terms of page to page, I've written up to like page 17, I think. Chapter 17. And I'm on page, for drawing it, I'm doing the chapter 0 one shot. This, I still need to ink this one right here and like clean up the pencils. But I think this was page 28 or something of chapter 0. I'm not sure. I don't know, brother. You gotta just tune in, check it out. It's called Demonation. And you know, man, if you're a passive consumer, it's all good. When it gets out there, you'll know about it. Yep. Like, you'll know about it once Jump says something to you. You'll know about it. You'll 100% know about it. So that's what's important. Once they have it in the magazine, you'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, that's what it's called. Yeah, but I've done, I would say, 3 prototypes of chapter 0, which is like the one-shot version. I did one when I was younger. I was like 18, I think, or 17 or 16. And I didn't like how it came out. And I basically put it away and just developed my skills and worked on the overall story. And when I got older, I tried it again. But I made a chapter, not a one-shot version. It was a chapter 1 of the actual story. And I released some pages on TikTok, and you could see it. A lot of the time-lapse stuff I have of it is there. But then I sent some of the sample art from that in the pitch book to Jump, and they told me they want to see a one-shot version of the story. So that's what's next on my plate. Okay. It's important though to really learn about your perspectives, your philosophy, your way of approaching the work, and to spend time with that. What these artists over there in Japan have over us is they have apprenticeships, so they can be taught directly and shown how to do it at the high levels, right? The only thing that we have over them is that we have a much broader perspective. And they're 97% Japanese, I think, in their country. Very, 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 very little amount of foreigners there, right? Very little. Even though they're tripping about it, there's really not that much. It's like 3%. And what happens is you kind of get tunnel vision in that kind of environment. What we have as Americans is all sorts of different cultures and all sorts of different perspectives and point of views. All of that gets infused in your storytelling. All of that gets infused in your art. And you start to see, like, yeah, we don't have apprenticeships and we will eventually, but we have perspective. We have a unique way that we can share. And so if you guys are also trying to create and make comics, manga, whatever it is, perspective is so important. Try to figure out how you think, not just copying what the most popular artist is doing, So it means it's gonna be a little lonesome because all of us want to just go hang out and have fun, right? And talk about what we read with friends and stuff like this, but you're gonna eventually have to spend time really reflecting on what your way is, what you like, what shape language you're attracted to. And this kind of exercise, that's what it's really designed for. It's designed for letting your mind explore the shape language, different styles, different things that could come up, and surprise yourself. Thank you, Dem. I appreciate you. Always looking forward to it. What up, Art Nerd? How does the publishing process works? So one shot is for Japanese standard. In America, you send a pitch book, which has the concepts and some sample art and the designs of your story, right? Of your comic. In Japan, they actually want you to send a one shot, which is a pilot version or episode 1 completed version, like as if not necessarily the whole story. And if it's a huge story, you cannot force it into one thing, right? So you have to figure out a way to give it a satisfying concluding ending that could potentially open up to more, right? So you have to sort of create a pilot, chapter 0 is what they call it, for your series, so they can look at that and say, okay, does this have potential? Does this? That's how they do it over there. That's what it's for. And once you kind of get that, they see your work, and if they like you, they'll go ahead and maybe they'll put you under as an apprentice for one of the artists that are running in the magazine, so you could kind of get the ropes. And that's how they kind of do it usually. Or if they like you so much, they'll give you a slot, man. It's not crazy, and it's as crazy as you might think that is. If you can impress them, their doors will open for you, right? I wasn't expecting any email back, but I got an email back, and they told me what to do and what to fix and what they liked and so forth. So if you guys are working on one, don't be afraid to submit it online. They have a website. You can send it to them, and you'll be surprised, man. They'll give you some good advice, and and they'll tell you what to do from there. And you can enter contests. We don't have any contests here, bro, in America. It's kind of stupid, but you can enter their contest over there. You can enter the silent one. You can use GPT to translate for you, which is what I did. The pitch book. So you can do a lot, man. Especially now, we can do so much that we couldn't before. I used to have to pay for translators, and I didn't have that much money, bro. I'm living paycheck to paycheck here, so it is possible, bro. You just gotta keep going. Thanks, INFJ. Appreciate you. Okay, let's get to this character. So we did this guy down here. Now let's go over here. Figure out this guy. He's mostly kind of been figured out already. So we're just really gonna go over it. Maybe add a little bit here and there. But on the next live, after I finish this, we're gonna work on pages, maybe some concept art for some of the characters for the data book and Demonation. You'll see here what we're gonna do. But this was a fun little exercise to kind of warm up and create something unexpected. Bro, this was deep, man. I know you can do it, but believe me, you have to break yourself down and build yourself up many times as it takes. Yeah. Yes. Very important. Everything comes in layers. And that includes your development, right? Whatever you're working on. You know, we're not shallow by nature. Humans are not shallow by nature. It's only when you try to force them into a machine, a system, that shallowness arises for the benefit of the few, right? So human nature, believe it or not, as crazy as this may sound, But if we didn't have anyone interfering with us, like the devil, for example, we would probably fix all the issues we have on our own. We would self-correct. Just like when you get a scar, a scratch, you get wounded a little bit, your body self-heals. The same thing as us, to be honest. But we've been taught to not really believe in human nature, to think it's something that's violent and vicious, and the reality is we're here to find meaning and share meaning and create meaning and etc. Right? Create art and share those layered works. So if you guys are doing your art and you're feeling down about it, you feel you're not there yet or whatever bullshit you're telling yourself, it's not about being there. You're already there. You just gotta keep creating. Keep your hand moving, your nose down, focused on being there to help others also feel like they can do it too, right? At the minimum, right? So don't feel like you need to be, oh, my art needs to be good so I can show it to people. No, it's not about showing off. It's just about saying, hey, I'm here too. Hey, I'm here. Hello, how you doing? Hello. Yeah, I'm also drawing. Yes. You draw too? Cool. All right, let's draw together. Right? That's what it's about. Otherwise, you could do the fan art and get all the fucking applause in the world, all the cheerleaders. Go do your fan art. It's fine. Whatever. If you enjoy that, that's okay. A lot of artists on here are really just trying to show off. Right? They're not interested in connecting and making something they feel that, oh, that's interesting to me. That's exciting. It's a shame. I can make a story, but I can't draw. I'm cooked. Hey man. Just draw. Just start drawing, bro. Start now. If you're young, start now. Most of the artists that are in Shonen Jump, bro, they didn't start until they were like 16, 17, 18. They didn't really start drawing. But they got serious for a little bit. Boom, and they got it. Right? So, I can see you like JJK, okay? Study the creator of JJK. Look at how his come up. What did he do? Did he go to an art school? Did he do this? Okay, well, try to see what he learned. Do a master study of their work, Practice. And then, explore your own designs. Like, have the guts, bro, to say, I want to figure out what my characters look like. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about if people are impressed or not impressed. Don't worry about that. You need to be impressed. That's what's important. For you. Remember, when you're creating art, it's not about showing off. It's about just being a light for others to feel like they can do it too, right? No matter how good, what level you are, at the minimum, you're there to help others enter. And you're like, okay, I can do that too. Wow, okay. From scribbles to an image, like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Bro, there's so many resources right now that you could really teach yourself a lot. So don't feel like it's gonna take forever. It's not. Just get really curious and believe in yourself. Also, I think you like more I need like shadow on some parts. Yeah, so there's no need. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. This is, first off, just an exercise. If I wanted to make indication of the planes of the form and have light and shadow, that's okay, I can do that. But I'm not doing that in this piece. I'm just creating, finding the shapes that I find interesting, and then turning that into some kind of picture, right? So there's no need, right? You're gonna think in this way. That's how they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you thinking you need this, you need that, and it's not enough. It's good, bro. Just create. You're not even at the place where you should be thinking like that. You know. If you're a director, an art director, you tell them, oh, I need this and this because that's your vision, right? They're art director. In your case, you're still learning, you're studying. Just see what it is that you're attracted to learn about more and more. If you like shadows, you want to learn how to play with shadows more and how that style works, I recommend you actually check out, I think it was called Batman Year One. What was his name? What was his name? I think I have the copy right here. Wade? I have the Daredevil. This is that right here. I thought I had it. It's not. But you can see, like, if you look at their shapes, look at how they're doing the shadow shapes. If you want to learn a little bit, look at some of these comic books. You can look at manga, but manga doesn't really do that too much. I would say a good book too for you. This is a good one, Framed Ink. He's all about the lighting and shadowing and playing with shadow shapes. See? You see how he's got these planes, the shadow plane right here, boom, boom, boom. Mike Magnolia, the creator of Hellboy, look at his work too. Mike Magnolia, I highly recommend you check out his work if you're interested in like how someone does shadow shapes and how they could play with that. Thanks, Radio. Appreciate you. Thank you, Loveless. Okay, so we got this character in the back over here. Have a good one, IFJ. Have a good day. Love from Japan. Arigato gozaimasu. Konbanwa, right? Konbanwa? Does they say bye, I think? Konbanwa, konbanwa. this right here? I don't even know. Looks like some kind of aura. Damn, this bitch is huge right. Okay, you guys can see. Sorry, the light was. There was a lot of glare. You can see. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's see what I could do about this right here. What's gonna fix this? Tape. Oh, good night is Oyasumi Nasai. Oh shit, my bad. Good evening. Oyasumi Nasai. I gotta practice. All I've been doing is using Rosetta Stone. Oyasumi nasai. Maybe someday. Okay, hopefully this will hold it. I have Tokyo Ghoul and JJK mangas, and I like how the Tokyo Ghoul has like this really clear characters, and I have JJK manga, and I like how GG just makes some lines more pronounced and thicker and adds tone. Right, there you go. So that's really important. You start to pay attention to that stuff and how they do the things that you like. Then you start to take from that, you incorporate it into your own work, and you start to expand on that, right? You start to see, well, what's my way? Why do I like this? You kind of have to break it down to the fundamental. And when you see what the core of the reason you like it, maybe it has this edginess to it, maybe there's just this, you know, there's a power behind the way he shades that you really like. You try to find your way of doing it, using their method, right? As a clutch in the beginning, but then a launching point in the future. Face reveal. You saw my face? Oh no!
That she find out.
My identity is ruined.
All the songs of today pointing out that our theory.
Okay, let's go ahead and finish this up. We have this other hand to do. Maybe it's like some kind of soul-devouring kind of hand. And you have taught me more than my teachers. Bro, I don't blame you, man. A lot of the teachers, they're just there for a job, man. Like, they'll teach you what they need to do their job, essentially. But there's too many students, you know. That's another thing. But what's really important is the way you think. That's, as an artist, that's a big thing that you really need to explore on. And it'll come through drawing a lot, yes, but also learning how others think in relation to how you think, right? You might go against what your teacher thinks is the correct way, and they're just trying to help you. They might get really annoyed, but it's important for you to figure out how things work in your way, you know? Ultimately, nobody's really taught by anybody else. We teach ourselves. We take the lesson and we figure out, okay, well, how do I do it, right? There's no step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not like that. You're not working in a factory here, right? You're an artist. An artist is someone who doesn't have steps. They take a leap into that blank page, the unknown, and they pull out and illuminate in that. When you get too particular about doing that, they start to tell you there's a correct way and an incorrect way, and that's honestly a load of bullshit. There's no rules in art. That's the whole point of this. So you have to be so courageous and so inspired to not follow what all the people around you are telling you, saying this is the right way to do it. This is the right. No, do it your way, bro. Do it your way. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Even the editors, bro. Even the editors, especially the editors, bro. They don't know how to draw. Like, the reality is they don't draw. They just judge all day, so they think they know something. They don't. They really don't, low key. But the whole system is set up in a way where the artists, they have to just go, keep going, follow orders. That's not a system that you would want to be a part of if you're an artist, right? You want to break that system. So you break it by embracing your way, your path. And all of us have a way. All of us have a language with shapes that we are attracted to from all our experiences and our subtle experience, personal experiences, So just be receptive and explorative as much as you can, and you will surprise yourself. In art school, you're gonna end up just drawing freaking portraits of yourself, and they're gonna teach you the planes of things, of the faces, how the planes sit or whatever, or they'll teach you how to do like anatomy. Some will teach you how to do renderings, but it's more about just giving you homework to practice. You can really do it yourself, 100%. Thanks, Lucius. All right, Dema. Oh yeah, it does kind of. I didn't even think about that. That's so funny. Yeah, it does kind of match what I'm saying. It's like a fucking inspirational ass video or some shit. You gotta believe in yourself. Okay, so I'm about done with this. Like I said, I'm okay to let it be as it is. I'm not gonna go and say, I gotta make this perfect, I gotta ink this and color it. I got what I wanted from it. I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, so we did a free sketch shape hunting exercise. This is what we came out with. If you guys rewind and you look at the beginning, what are you gonna see? You're gonna see scribbles and spaghetti on top of the scribbles. And then you keep adding and adding to it. You're gonna see we ended up with this interesting scribble shape character right here. Looking like Bloodborne /Zero, looking like a demon with a cage for a stomach. I don't know. I don't want to know. That shit came out, it's gone. I don't look at my shit twice, We gotta move on, we gotta flush it. So let's go and do something else. Let's see here. Should I ink this one? What's more important is probably to ink this one to clean it up more. Or I could do the next page for the story. Or I I can make sense of this chaos. This is supposed to be a page, but there's so much going on. I gotta make it clearer. So this is gonna take some time. So this is like level 1. This is like level 3 in terms of the tightness for the pencils. And this is probably like level 2. So I'll probably want to bring this to a level 3 pencils where it's tighter. This is good enough to ink, I think. Maybe add a little bit more clarity here. This is what we did as an exercise. So I'll be seeing you guys. Thank you for joining. We had fun. And I'll be back really soon on the next live. I want to go live again in a little bit, okay? Have a good one.